All right, let's talk about Cape versus Embalayev. Look, I thought it was an amazing display of striking by Cape, and it was a classic battle in MMA, the grappler versus striker. But it also was representative of something else in fighting sports that's been around a lot longer than MMA, and the fact that the flyweight division just does not sell. I remember when Michael Carbajal and Humberto Gonzalez, they were light flyweight, I think 108. Don King was trying to make them have $1 million fight, and it would have been the first time that happened for flyweights. And I think he got there in some way. I'm sure the fighters didn't make nearly $1 billion, but in whatever way they record that. And, Dana White has had the opportunity to kind of treat everyone equally, and he hasn't. But, he hasn't because the flyweights don't sell, man. I mean, remember Demetrius Johnson? He was on that 10 title defense winning streak. He looked like the best fighter in the world. His acrobatics, his skill, a lot like Cape looked last night. I mean, Cape's striking looked otherworldly. But, when you're small and you don't have a lot of weight to move around, that can really help you look otherworldly. And I think in some way people relate less to it because they're not that small on general average. Whatever it is about the flyweights, they simply do not sell. And it's why Dana allowed Demetrius Johnson to leave and go to ONE FC. And it's also why he is in Makayev, why he let Makayev go. I mean, Makayev just beat Cape, right? And I'm sure he's a jerk behind the scenes. Don't get me wrong. A lot of MMA guys, fighter guys, it's ego, right? And so they do really stupid things. And I get all that. But I got to wonder, would they have let Mokaev go if he wasn't a flyweight? And I got to tell you, I don't think they would have. And this is, getting Cape in there. And Cape looked great last night. But, he lost to Mokaev. They let Mokaev go. Now they give Cape another fight against a guy that presumably they knew he could win. They're trying to get Cape this title fight, right? And they've finally done it, right, to take on Pantoja. But no matter what they do, the flyweights can't carry themselves. It's really interesting to me to watch these guys go. From a technical perspective, they're absolutely amazing. But the reality is, so here's something I tell people about boxing. One of the reasons Floyd Mayweather is so good, and a lot of boxers start very young, is because you don't have muscle mass yet. And when you learn that technique you need to learn before you have muscle mass, then when you get muscle mass later, it's a little easier. Learning as an adult makes it very difficult. Flyweights are almost like forever kids, right? They don't have a giant amount of muscle mass, and it allows them to do amazing things for amazing periods of time that other fighters couldn't do. But at the end of the day, we just don't relate to it. Sorry, guys. Everybody, read my book, Warrior of the